Oh my gosh.
I need to go inside.
I don't get it.
Is your card?
I'm so confused. I missed the punchline.
Devil's tricks, devil's lettuce, devil cards.
You get that's the theme.
Right.
Demon magic.
Yeah.
It's called sex, drugs, and magic tricks. Do you like magic tricks?
Actually, yeah.
My name's Josh Farley. Today we're going to be interviewing college kids about sex, drugs, and magic tricks. Here, what's your name?
Kendall.
Brennan. Here with Brennan, Emma, Shell, and Dakota.
Oh my god, it is. Are you a magician?
That happened. Kendall, there's 52 different cards. As long as it's not the 5 of spades, we need that card later in the trick. As long as it's not the 8 of spades, and ace of hearts. That's a coincidence. Put it on top. That was a coincidence. It's a coincidence. I'm just messing with you. You can look through. There's no other ace of spades, and then pick out anyone you want. Make sure there's no other 5 of spades. A lot of people think that's the way it's done. I do need this later. Give me the rest of the deck. Ace of spades on top. 5 of spades on top. Would someone stop? Place your card there for me. And then can you remember what was on top? If you would hold your hand out just like this. Hold your hand out just like this. And then place your other hand on top of it. Okay. Would you believe me if I told you as I was flipping through the cards that I was counting each individual card and I know exactly which number you told me to stop on? Luckily I know exactly where in the deck your card is. So it's exactly 21 down. 19 down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19. That wouldn't be magic though, right? That would just be me listening to where you told me to stop, and then after like 4 summers of no social life, here we are! Hold your hands out. You're gonna start to feel just a little bit. You feel that? Yes. A little bit. 1, 2, 3. What card were you holding?
I'm so mind blown right now.
Sex, drugs, and magic tricks. Would everyone say their names and majors?
My name's Dakota Reynolds. I'm an exercise and movement science major.
I'm Rochelle. I'm a dance major. I'm Emma. I'm a physical education major.
I'm Brennan. I'm an audio engineer major.
I'm Kendall. I'm speech pathology.
Brendan Dalton. I am a junior BFA musical theater.
We have Claire. What's your name?
I'm Allie.
Allie, nice to meet you, Allie.
I'm undecided. Nursing.
Nursing? Cool. So what do you want out of your life? Like, what do you want to do with that?
Not only with speech, but like I'll work with a lot of autistic kids.
I want to help people, preferably special needs.
I want to dance for social change.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Don't worry about it.
I want to change the way people see music.
And like I've made it thing would be is to just if I could have like one person like in their life be like, hey, you made me just like want to do what I love to do, because I just had so many people that were that for me.
First topic, drugs.
Okay.
What do you consider a drug?
Chemical that changes the chemical balance of your brain.
Something that you, I guess, take to experience something.
That's where it gets hard because like everything's a drug. Like even what I do, there's a feeling you get when you're on stage that you become addicted to. That's why you have so many performers who end up overdosing. I think there gets a point where it's like that isn't enough.
From your perspective, what is drugs?
Something that people use to make themselves feel better.
Have you done drugs?
Yeah, just weed.
Just weed.
I actually have that.
Legal or illegal?
It's technically a legal drug.
Going hard on the ibuprofen.
Yep.
Have you done the weed?
I haven't. Maybe. My mom.
Allie hasn't. Claire has. Have you?
Possibly.
Has allegedly tried the weed.
We don't know.
So what makes a drug either good or bad?
The way in which it is used, like alcohol is a perfect example. Like it in and of itself, I would never say is a bad drug, but the abuse of it.
There are a lot of connotations when it comes to drugs. You have like pharmaceutical drugs that are like government legally accepted by prescription, and there's like recreational drugs and like shit that like actually destroys your brain. Like meth.
Depending on what drug it is, I mean, if it's a good drug, it could make your entire like world brighter and more enjoyable, just depending on what it is. Probably just weed though, like don't do anything else.
Maybe the side effects of the drug, like what happens or like what you do like when you're on it.
Drugs are like used for like medicine, you know, to like actually help people, and some people use it for like recreational use.
Okay.
I think in excessive amounts.
When you do it too much, obviously there's going to be negative things, but like in and of itself, it's not a bad thing.
There's always a risk of taking something, feeling like there won't be a risk, like say weed, and then you go into total psychotic meltdown because somebody put something in that weed, which is what initially put me in the ambulance. Somebody put bath salts in the weed. But it's things like that that can cause really bad things to happen for people, you know? Unless you're really good with knowing your drugs and knowing the culture and knowing what's going on with that, it can really mess up a lot of people's lives, even if it had been beneficial for you beforehand. Whenever I broke my wrist, weed was a more beneficial drug than Oxy, which the doctors gave me. It was awful. Felt like an asshole. Smoked a little bit of weed in high school, got through it, then I didn't smoke anymore. Occasionally I'd smoke recreationally, and then somebody put some bad stuff in that weed, and bad things happen because of drugs. That's just why there's a negative connotation behind drugs, because bad things can happen. It's a high-risk environment.
Let's talk about sex.
Let's talk about sex.
Baby.
Let's talk about
Have you had sex?
Yes. Not fully.
Have you had sex?
Yes.
have not.
Have you had sex?
Yes.
Once or twice.
I'm a
Yes and
human.
no.
I have needs.
Yes.
Like a lot of sex or just like a little bit of sex?
Just like a little bit. Like honestly, whenever I need it, whenever I want it.
Everything in
I'm
moderation.
Depends on if there's drugs involved.
Fucking perpetuity until we grow old and tired of each other. Yeah, that'll be 2 days. Thank you, college boys.
What?
I mean, I had sex last week.
A lot of sex.
Nice.
A lot of sex.
I used to have a lot of sex.
Okay.
Now I don't.
Okay.
I value it a little bit more.
Well, I had a boyfriend at the time, so like
Okay.
I would say like, you know, any normal person like in a like relationship, we dated like a little for a year, so like,
Okay.
it was like a normal thing, but it's not like a too normal of a thing. You know what I mean?
Have you had a lot of sex or just a little sex?
Moderate amount.
So with sex being everywhere, why do you think it is taboo?
Based off of what you believe. Like say you're not religious, you don't have those like things that are explaining to you like why you shouldn't, or you are religious and you're like, okay, it's telling you not to do this because of this. And like the older generations, they're like, don't do that, so don't do it. So like we're influenced by that, so we're like, it's like you're ashamed if you do those things.
I think it's because we've decided to create a consumer network and sell anything and everything we can, like sex toys, clothing, beauty supplies, weight loss supplements, gym memberships. Like, I think we made a market out of what the human does naturally.
With girls, it's more taboo, just
Okay.
because like you could be like a whore, like a slut if you've had sex like once, and if you don't, then you're like a prude. I feel like it's more about like labeling and like how people view you more than anything.
But I feel like with guys, it's more of like they brag about it, like they'll go like home with their guy friends after a night out, and be like, you know.
Yeah.
And like girls are like just much more like I feel like reserved about that kind of stuff. Guys, it doesn't mean as much to them. I feel like girls, it's more like a personal thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
like guys get high fives, girls get like slaps.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely that duality of like, there's a pressure to like have sex because it's like a thing we should do. You know, high school especially, but just like of like people talk just all the time about it, and there's like that like feeling of like, oh, I have it.
Do you think sex is viewed differently in the United States than other countries?
I think it's viewed differently, but solely because we sexualize things more. It's like it's a common American trope to put a dancer in a nude leotard to signify vulnerability. And every time I see that, I'm like, why isn't that person just actually naked? And that's a thing where I've seen in other countries, you know, watching documentaries and watching dance videos, where if somebody is open, they're just gonna be naked. But like that's the thing that in America, we've so sexualized just bodies in general that like it's diffused the way we can even think about sex, let alone just a human body.
I feel like in other countries, like in other cultures, like it's more, I feel feel like it's more, not like accepted, because it's like accepted here, but I feel like there's just like there's like love cultures, and like sex is like a part of that.
So I feel like it's more of like a serious like love-based thing more than just like
Let's just do this.
yeah. Maybe I was thinking of like not France, but like China.
I don't know anything about sex in China, so
Like,
it's more
it's
like
more, like-
business.
let's get down to business.
So in China, sex is more like, let's get down to business.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna quote you on there.
Absolutely.
Sure.
It's definitely way more like common and like as we're like more relaxed in like other cultures and countries. I feel like America's definitely like said, hey, this is a societal norm and we're gonna control you, we're gonna label you, we're gonna confine you, you can't do this, you can't do that, we're gonna slut shame you, we're gonna tell you your body's too big, you're not lovable enough, and we're gonna sell all these consumer products to you. No. You're perfect the way you are, love yourself and love your partner. Like that's the point.
How do you think that culture views sex?
Something that you just do for fun.
Okay, our culture views sex as a pastime, a sport, a hobby, a competition.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I was thinking a lot back to like the 70s. Sex was just so kind of like open and free, and like everybody was just having a lot of sex. And I feel like we're like kind of in that realm right now, but it's like different for some reason. And I think that's because then it was more about the feeling, just like feeling a joy in like experiencing another human being. Where I think now it's become almost more of a selfish thing. See, that's the thing is I think it like it's made it to where like the sex is the important thing, which I don't think it should be. Where it's the intimacy that's the important thing. And like I've noticed that a lot, just because of the field I'm in. You know, we're in close encounters a lot with people, and it's just like how much even just like a hug can mean. Is something that I feel like is like diffused by how much sex is what's talked about rather than about like connection.
What does sex mean to you?
Enhance what you already have going for your relationship.
In my opinion, I think that if you're gonna have sex with somebody, it should at least mean something. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
There's a huge emotional connection that happens when you make love as opposed to having sex. Making love is not just fun and games, I guess.
Like honestly, I personally just can't. Like I'm not into that. Like it's a transference of like energy, and there are chemicals released that bond you with the person while you like take in like coitus, whatever. I had to do it. Thank you, Big Bang Theory.
While you take in coitus.
Partake in coitus.
Coitus is quite lovely.
Honestly, it's kind of just to get your way through knowing that person almost. Like, you get to know a person and you really like them and you go on dates and all this stuff, but then like you have your first kiss with them and it's like, all right, you know, and you have to think about it. And then you have to have like, I don't know, you go farther to like see if it's actually what you want, you know.
And do you think that true monogamy within our culture is dying?
I have mixed feelings.
Yeah, I think I feel like college relationships kind of like it's kind of not realistic just because you know it's college. It depends on like what college you go to. Like a big campus like we're at, like I feel like it's kind of not realistic. It depends on the people, but like I hope it's not gonna die out because that's really sad.
Yeah.
Because that's something like I feel like a lot of girls at least look forward to.
Yeah.
But I feel like later on in life, like after you're out of college and like you're like trying to settle down, like after you have your job and everything, I feel like it'll be easier to have that. I hope it doesn't die because that's sad.
It's looking rough though.
Yeah,
it's
it
looking
is.
bad.
No.
No?
College boys have sex with so many girls in a month. I don't think they want to be monogamous. And like, I don't know, I feel like marriage, single.
You're talking about it backwards. Monogamy is
Yeah.
two people with one
So do you think that it is
Always.
dying?
I don't think it's dying. I think our habits are changing.
I guess yes, because like with that culture, it's like, oh, married someone, like fell out of love, so divorce, move on. Like that's just like kind of like what we do.
I don't think it's a dying thing. Like I had somebody who once they asked a question along the lines of like, do you think if you like were with the person, you know, you were supposed to be with, like, someone posed a question, like, would you be attracted to somebody else or like ever have a crush on somebody else? And like almost everybody in the group answered like, yes, you would still, obviously, you're still gonna like have an attraction to someone else. But as far as monogamy goes, I think it's a thing where like the effort to be just with one person, I think that effort has gone down as far as like the way people are like, yeah, well, if I don't have to try for this thing, I'm gonna do that thing and stop trying for this. I think it's not necessarily the most human thing.
How do you solve the human problem?
I think it's all just about conversation. Not communicating and not conversing, especially with a partner, is going to lead to all of your issues. The more that happens, like the more that you just have conversations about everything, not just specifically about sex, like I think that is the only way to have a healthy relationship.
No, I don't think monogamy is dying at all. I think that, like, my parents told me, like, college is a time to experience things and, like, do what you need to do, like, get it out of your system almost. But whenever everything is said and done, you're probably going to be with the one person that you want to be with for the rest of your life. And so I don't think monogamy is dying. I think that once you find that person, you know that nobody else is going to compare to them. So, like, why look for somebody else, you know?
Does the idea of growing old and settling down still appeal to you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure. I think it'd be super fun because, like, even though you're like growing older, you're still getting to know them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not right now, but I'm sure it will in time.
Yes, but I do know that I have so much time to be my individual self. And I'm taking advantage of that time, but I know the time's gonna come where I'm gonna want to like cool down, slow down.
So, like, personally, from a relationship kind of standpoint, I'm not worried about it. I'm not freaked out by it or anything. Like, I really like talking about it sometimes. Like, we just talk about who we can be as ourselves together, you know? So.
I'm excited to grow as an old man.
You're right.
With Emma.
Like, we're gonna be shriveled up and old.
It'll be sick.
Jolly good times.
Yeah, we're gonna like pester the children outside.
Right.
Be like, get off my lawn.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be those people.
As people, everybody has that desire, you know, to have, at least I think everybody has like a desire to like be a part of like that community that a family is.
Yeah. Where's that magician go?
Or the YouTuber.
YouTubers everywhere. He smoked
He
the
injected
cannabis
the
and died.
marijuana.
Still marijuana.
Snorted too much magic.
Too much magic.
I like that one.
Do you have any final thoughts? Do you want to tell the viewers anything profound?
Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
Drugs are bad, don't do drugs. You heard it here first.